Stephanie White had lots of praise for Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston in her first press conference. Stephanie White made one thing clear in her introductory presser as the new head coach of the Indiana Fever. She's thrilled by the opportunity to coach stars Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston, and sees limitless potential for what the pairing back-to-back Rookies of the Year can accomplish long-term. These two are the best. There's so many things that they do well right now, but there's so much room for growth, White said. When you think about the great point guards and post players that our game, not just our league, but our game has seen, they're going to go down as the greatest. It's a bold claim, but it's one backed up by both All-Stars on-court production thus far. Boston, the no. One pick in 2023 has averaged 14.2 points on 55.2% shooting in 2 seasons, grabbing 8.9 rebounds per game and elevating her play in the postseason. Clark, the no. One pick in 2024, enjoyed a historic rookie campaign, averaging 19.2 points and a WNBA record 8.4 assists per game. Clark's record-setting campaign ranks among the most impressive in league history. Together, and alongside the critical contributions of Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, and others, the Fever made the playoffs for the first time since 2017. Though they fell to the Connecticut Sun in the first round of the playoffs, White said that initial run will prove valuable long-term. There's never a substitute for experience, she said. This is a young roster who gained valuable experience throughout the course of this season. Having playoff experience is so important. You just never know what you don't know. Clark, Boston, and Hull were all in attendance for the introductory press conference. It certainly wasn't their first time meeting White. All three faced her Sun team in the playoffs, but this time, the dynamic was vastly different. You've got incredibly talented players right here in Caitlin and Aliyah and Lexi, a team that was incredibly fun to watch and very tough to game plan against, White said, gesturing to the front row. So I'm glad I'm going to be able to work with you guys, work with you ladies, instead of having to think about how to stop you. The Fever will grapple with a number of questions heading into next season, including whether Mitchell will be back and what other role players they will re-sign or recruit. Notably, White named Hull, who averaged 5.5 points per game and shot 47.1% from 3 during the season, a core member of the team moving forward. In order to surround and elevate the Fever's returners, White said the priority would be to identify role players who are happy to play their roles around Clark, Boston, and Hull. Building quality depth is going to be important. When you have a core 3 like we have, surrounding them with players who are going to fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, and who are going to embrace their roles secondly, and who give us the best opportunity for success by complementing what they do really, really well, White said. An Indiana Fever homecoming for Stephanie White. For Stephanie White, it's well chronicled that accepting the Indiana Fever head coaching was a return home. White coached the Connecticut Sun for the past 2 seasons, but has spent most of her basketball career in the Hoosier State. It's going to be really hard for me to not get emotional today, but I think for all of these people, all these familiar faces in the building today, this is coming home for me, White said. It has been such an experience with this franchise for nearly 25 years, from day one. The opportunity to come home and to lead this young, exciting, talented team. Kelly Krauskopf, who became the Fever's president in October, said that the decision to let go of Christy Sides, who had coached the Fever for 2 seasons, was rooted in the desire to win as fast as possible. My challenge was, where do we need to make improvements? Where can we get better? And how do we expedite this process? Krauskopf said, because of what I saw in the 2 years of watching where I sat, Christy Sides did a great job. But Krauskopf had a long-standing relationship with White and had some initial conversations with her once she realized the decorated coach might be available and interested in a return. When I'd had the opportunity to talk to her, it was like fortuitous, something that I just couldn't believe the timing, Krauskopf said. Sides was fired on October 27. The next day, White formally parted ways with the Sun. The timeline was accelerated, to be honest, Krauskopf said. There was an opportunity to try and take experience, look at how we can maximize this group of young players. the resources we have to be successful, and move that forward.